How's it going, Cancerian community? You know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a wonderful story for this special frequency. First off, let me start off by saying thank you for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, keep in mind that this is a space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now, with that being said, let me just warn y'all, this is not Love Tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment, and what that means to me is us building the stepping stones to getting closer to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. So, let's go ahead and get started with the vibe here, Cancerian. There's a lot going on around you. So, or I should say not just around you, but within you as well. Patience is a virtue here, and I quote that. It's the biggest key right now. Cancerian, you are stuck in a moment where you don't understand why a lot of the things are happening to you in your environment. This makes you question yourself and your journey. There is light here. Not everything is so dark. Sometimes it takes training ourselves to see the light among all the darkness. And remember, we talk about tuning out of the negativity and tuning into a more divine type of energy. That takes work and it takes practice. We don't just come out the womb knowing how to do stuff. This is why we have such a life journey when we're here. What you feel is real and it hurts. And the divine knows this. The guides know this. Your ancestors especially know this. Life hands us hardships and loss, not to punish us, but to help teach us how to honor certain parts of our journey and the experiences with it. What could be looked at as a loss could be looked at as a blessing, that we were even lucky enough to have this experience at one time. It can be hard to feel, it can be hard to feel all of your blessings at this time, but trust me, they are there. Cancerian, are you ready to pick up your head and see that everything has happened wasn't to punish you? The divine wasn't trying to punish you by all these events that have happened recently or even in the past. Remember, what is said in the vibe is that the divine wants you to see the journey, the experiences, and not just look at this past as an emptiness that's full of loss, but to see how you can honor having the very things that you had for those moments there, feeling how lucky you were to have those blessings at that time. A lot of times we get caught up in things and we can't see how it was a blessing that it even was a part of our life for a certain amount of time. There's a lot of people out there who don't get to have those experiences. So how can we feel the blessing, but also feel, having the honor to even experience some of those things? So let's go ahead and get started with the introduction, Cancerian. We're going to start this off gently. And I have the, what are they called? It's the Oracle of the Unicorns right here. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a big sense of not wanting to talk about things. You could be bottling a lot of stuff up right now, Cancerian. Please be careful with that, because if you're doing that, that's going to come out as irritability when it comes to dealing with people or even the tiniest mishaps in your environment right now. So the first thing that we're not seeing is partnership. Partnership. Teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support team. This tells me that there's others around you. There are others around you who could be a support system for you. Be careful with using discernment right now. Discernment is wonderful to have at times, especially when we're making moves. But right now with the discernment coming out like this, and then we have it on top of trust, and which is followed by delight. So right now, be careful with your discernment. Be careful with trying to bottle everything up. What I feel like this is telling you to lean on your support system. Lean on them. It could be trusting into them. It could be even having the discernment to know that right now, the way that you're feeling, how angry you are, how upset you are, how much pain you are in, is the very thing that has you irritable. It isn't the mishaps that are happening in your environment, but there's something else that's deeply rooted. How can we build trust again? How can we trust in our support system, but how can we trust in the divine with the things that are happening on our journey or that have happened on our journey? I'm going to read this one. Leap into the unknown, have faith, and move forward. Believe you will fly. And the last card, delight. Maybe you feel like with delight here, it's like there's no possible kind of wish or miracle that could set things right now. And with delight, it says, count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. Remember how we were talking about your blessings are around, even though you don't feel it. You don't see it. You're in so much pain, you don't understand how anything could be a blessing right now. But they are there. And the divine wants you to know they are there. And there's a lot going on, I feel like, in the mental space for you. A lot going on in your head. What else needs to come out? What are the last two cards for the introduction? So I have this one here. Polarity. Just know we can't have the dark without the light, and we can't have the light without the dark. I know we don't understand why everything's happening right now, and sometimes you can't give a reason for things that happen. Again, it comes back to honoring the experiences that you were able to have. Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. I'm hearing that saying, taking the bad with the good or the good with the bad. Alright, so these are going to be the last two cards where we talk about patience, something you're not seeing and something that you're at odds ends with. Patience. Pause before you take action. Trust that the divine is at work. Be patient and play whilst you wait. Honestly, if you've also been seeing 1212 when I was dialing into your frequency, the last two numbers I seen was a 1 and a 2, which told me 12. And 1212, divine timing is at work. Be open to the flow of life. So just know, again, this frequency, all of us technically are on divine timing, but it really gets expressed in this frequency a lot. And this card, this one I did see in the cleansing of the cards, the pre-shuffle. freedom. How can we free our mind from the constrictions that we are creating with our pain that we're feeling, with the hurt that we're feeling? Could be even with the loss that we're feeling. Freedom, live wild and free. Choose your freedom. Claim your independence. I like that. Claim your independence from the darkness. And again, it's going towards the light. It's understanding the blessings that you still have. It's being able to honor the experiences that you have, or that you have had but may not have right now. Sometimes that is very hard. So I'm going to give you a warning ahead of time. I'm sure you guys can pick it up here within the first 5 minutes. My speech is a little bit off, and my first house is my Sun and Mercury, which is in Aquarius, and Sun and Mercury are doing something funky in the solar system. So what's happening is, like, my speech is not coming out all the greatest because my mind is going, we'll say, like an extra 100 miles faster than what my vessel's mouth can speak. So please just have patience with that. I'm going to try and slow down so I'm not like, kind of thing. So let's call in the ancestors, spirit guides, divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the present, for the Cancerian community? Look at how that falls. That's very interesting. All right, so right away it looks like we have the King of Cups. King of Cups coming out in reverse. King of Cups is usually depicting a very older, mature kind of energy here. A maturer energy that's still progressive. It would be that kind of saying, remember they used to say is that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This would be somebody when they're in the upright, no matter what the age is, they're still flexible, they're still moldable, they're still teachable. But for some reason right now, you put yourself in the reverse King of Cups, being kind of merciless with yourself, especially when it comes to these emotions. It could be that you're bottling everything up, or you're overly expressing everything. What it is there's something that's a really big deal in your life. Something that really has shaken you to the core. You know, it's something that you can't escape from looking at when it comes to the emotions, when it comes to thinking about it as well. And this is where you need to have patience. And I'm being told to talk about positive affirmations. A positive affirmation is just for today, I will trust in the divine. Or just for today, I will honor the memory. So it just depends on how you want to work with it. It's hard. It is hard when we face sudden losses with people, places, and or things. When we look around and we can't find stuff. Right here, we need a truth. We need a truth. Four of Swords to get unstuck. We go from the Three of Swords in reverse to the Four of Swords. Four of Swords usually depicts illness, stuck energy. Three of Swords, deceit or truth. But you have to be truthful with yourself. There could be a lot of stress going on. It could be a lot of emotional stress, a lot of mental stress too, and trying to understand what's happening. But it also could be leading you to depression type of feelings. Feelings where you're stuck, feelings where it's hard to get up, feelings where it's hard to be motivated with the day. I mention this, it is in my scope of practice to talk about this, is stressors can affect us in a lot of different ways. It can definitely affect our health. our mood, our energy. It can affect us in a lot of different ways. And I have somebody here who could be not feeling too well. They could be feeling more of low energy type of things. What I get is there's a lack of motivation. And one thing in the medical field, they always talk about you move it or you lose it. That goes the same with keeping motivation, keeping progressive energy going, is you have to keep moving with life. So also movement, again, is really great for the body, really great for the circulatory system. What's being depicted here is you need to take care of yourself, and it's through movement and being patient with things. Wow. We'll take it. We will take it. All right, so we have here Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Four of Wands, oh, Ten of Swords. There's a lot of shutting down energy. A lot of shutting down energy, especially because we don't have something here with us. That's what I get. We don't have something here with us. And we've been thrown into this Ten of Swords energy. Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords. We're kind of pinning ourselves to the wall with things when it comes to this loss, not having this other within the foundations of our life. Go. Oh, here comes that irritability. That irritability. Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Queen of Swords in reverse. That's that irritability. You could be a little harsh, a little reactive. But you're not being a brute about it like a Queen of Wands in reverse would be. But in a sense, what I keep hearing the word like tyrant, and I'm being led to tyrant because it's the mouth. It's how we're speaking. It's how we're expressing ourselves. It's how we're being short with people when we're irritable. We're not giving people a choice. You know, we're not giving ourselves a choice to juggle anything. We're kind of just really upset about things, and we're going to go through it. And we're going to use the irritability to cover up the pain that we're actually feeling inside. And I feel like that, oh, this is going to get me emotional. Okay. So you are doing what a lot of people do, Cancerian. We cover up pain, we cover up hurt, we cover up sorrow, we cover up loss with the emotion of anger, resentment, even hate. And right now, there is others, your support team. There is somebody else here who's here for you. And right now, they're taking on the burden of things when it comes to your irritability. That's what I'm getting with the Seven of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. You don't give them a choice. You kind of sway things into this direction. Yeah, here's the Ten of Cups. So it's like there's two sides to this, especially when it comes to this person who really wants to be here for you. This energy that wants to be here for you. It could even be a guided energy. It could be an ancestor But I really feel like this person's in the 3D with you. The thing is, how do I put this? They want you to see, they want you to understand that not everything has been lost yet. They're still here. The things that you've worked so hard for is still here. Even though we've lost something, even though something isn't here anymore, you still have everything that you've been building for personally here. And this person, they don't want you to lose sight of that. And I feel like this is why it could be their ancestors are coming in and wanting to help out with this as well, and just letting you know that this person is not trying to get on your nerves. This person is trying to help you. They're trying to help you navigate this dark by showing up, by showing that they are a part of your tribe. They are still a part of that final dream that you have. They want to support it. And we have this Two of Swords energy blocking. The Ace of Pentacles. So I always talk about Cancerian and even Scorpio energy, how they have these claws. So what I see with this Ace of Pentacles, this Two of Swords, is you definitely have yourself blocked off from right now wanting to invest into anything new, basically into the idea that everything was meant to work out this way. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel fair to this Cancerian how things are working out. And so what's happening is the Cancerian in this story is sticking to holding on to this isn't fair. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. I'm not going to let this go. This isn't fair. And which is creating this block for you. It's creating this block for you to actually get out of the cold, to make moves to get out of the cold with yourself. It could be in the exact thought process of this is unfair. Because when we go into that realm, especially cursing out because of the way life is happening, you start to feel like, the divine has it out for you. And that's not the case. That is definitely not the case. So I have the High Priestess. Ooh. High Priestess is going to represent moon energy as well. We need nurturing. We need to nurture ourselves. We could need to nurture our environment. Finding the way to make movement. And then we have this Two of Cups. Remember, you have somebody here, and this Two of Cups falls onto the Ten of Cups. Don't shut this person out. Do not shut this person out. I know life is chaotic. I know you're irritable. I know you feel like you can't get a break, but don't shut this person out, whoever this person is who's trying to support you. They want to help you see your journey. They want to help you feel like you're not alone. And they could be doing too much at times. You could feel like they're doing too much. That's what I get with this. But they don't know what to do. What I get is that this person could take everything that hurts you and replace it with something else so that you're happy again. They would do it. They would do it in a heartbeat. It hurts to watch them, or it hurts for them to watch you hurt. So just know, don't be too harsh with this person, especially when they're doing too much. How can you sit back? How can you just sit back when you want to go off on them because you're irritated, because you're hurt? How can you just sit back? Just sit back and just, instead of going off, even though it's a little too much, just tell them, you know, thank you for your effort. Just thank you for your effort. It can be hard when somebody's trying to do too much. It really can. But that person who's doing too much, they're dedicated. They are dedicated, and they see you. They see how you're hurting, and they don't know, what I get and what I feel is they don't know how to talk to you about it. They don't know what to say to make the pain go away. So they try doing these little things for you, and it may seem like it's too much to you, but to them, because they can't find the words, their acts that they're doing, the things that they're doing, they're trying to show you that there's still love here. Again, they're trying to show you what you've still built. Even though there's been loss, you still have everything that you've been building, that you've worked hard for. Whew. I'm trying not to cry through this. Holy moly, Cancerian. It's hard. It is hard when we face losses. I've lost a few people in my life when I was younger that definitely rocked me to the core. I've lost 2 jobs in one day that I was banking on that was going to be around. It's hard to face sudden losses. Losses that you weren't planning for. And with the loss of people, 2 people in particular, I grieved for a long time. And it took years. It took years for me to open my eyes and see how all of it, that relationship, just for the time that I was able to know them, was a blessing, because a lot of other people don't have that chance. In particular, I have my brother tattooed right here, and he has passed away over 10 years now. And it was hard because we were only like 21 months apart, so we grew up very close together. And for years and years and years, I suffered because he was my best friend, but yet my worst enemy at times. You know, we were just that close when we were young. And after losing him, it really rocked my world. And it was a loss that I could never recover. I couldn't find him in this dimension anymore. So it took probably about 7 years for me to finally open my eyes to how having him in my life was a blessing. The fact not everybody grows up with a sibling. That's very true. You have friends that are probably an only child. And if you've grown up with as an only child, you know, you don't have this playmate throughout your younger years. And you don't have this person that you get to grow up into adulthood with anymore. You don't have that special connection, you know, and that can be hard. That can be hard. So me having that special connection, me being able to have certain parts of my journey where I had this person along there with me, you know, was the biggest blessing. Again, because others didn't have this blessing. So it's hard. It is very hard. And as you can hear in my voice, I still get emotional. But it's because I loved my brother so much. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. Angels, angels, angels of protection. Alright, hold on. I need some tissue. I've been trying not to do this the whole time because of what the feeling is here with this 5. So just know that your pain is you being human. And it's because you care so much. So try and be patient with yourself as you're going through this part of your journey. But yeah, I mean, we face a lot of losses different ways. And just depending on our emotional tie to the loss will depend on how much it hurts. But just know, when it hurts a lot, when it's hard to navigate, when it feels like life shouldn't be going on, time shouldn't be going on, that's because you cared so much about this person. Honor that. Honor how much you love them. Honor the fact that you were able to love them. All right, so angels of protection. Angels, angels, angels of protection. I ask that you protect us as we navigate the block here for the Cancerian frequency. What is it that needs to come out for the block for the Cancerian? Here comes this High Priestess energy again in reverse. I don't know, you're beating yourself up. For some reason, you don't feel like you showed up enough. That's what I feel like. You weren't overlooking the thing, or you had overlooked some things, I should say. And it really has you, could be in a regretful energy. It could be one of the things that has you stuck. The whole I shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of things. And then I have this 6 of Swords that falls onto the 10 of Swords here. There's something here that has to do with regrets. Regretting not being able to do more with whatever, whoever it was when it comes to this loss with person, place, and or thing. In a sense, you wish you could have just picked them up, you know, and still have them on this journey with you, you know. What I see with this card, this 5 of Pentacles here, your partner, the support system here. How can you get back to doing things? How can you make, it could be small moves. What it could be, something that could help you is doing something. I know we talk about the block a lot of times, and usually it's like the thing that's stopping us. But here with this one, there's something here about your hands working on a specific project that could help. Maybe something that you've put in the closet, something that you could have been working on with somebody else at one time, and you feel like it could have been like you wasted too much time and you never finished that project with whoever. So now it kind of sits, and it sits with regret, it sits with resentment, because again, you ran out of time with whoever, whatever this was. Your partner, this person, the support person, could be talking about it, touching on it, and it's really something that like makes you like shudder with irritability inside, because they're touching on something, they're touching on a regret and stuff like that. What I see here is actually pulling whatever this is out and working on it in the memory. Maybe even whoever the support system is, the support person, maybe even opening up to letting them pull it out, opening up to letting them start to work on it with you, even though it was supposed to be a you and another one's project. There's many different ways that you can honor the memory of things, and maybe completing whatever this is could be one of them. Oh, excuse me. Here comes that 7 of Swords again. Truthful. It's about those thoughts. It's about the spilt out emotions. Could be the regrets, the things that you wish you would have did. You know, the calls that you wish that you would have answered. It's definitely something that leaves you stuck. But there also could be an energy, again, where you're stuck and you are losing sight of the things that you need to take care of still. Keep taking care of yourself to the utmost. That is really important if you want to make it through this part of your journey. It definitely has to do with your stability. You know, we find stability in our routines. That's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing at times. And I feel like getting back to the routines that you were doing is definitely going to help clean up some stuff for you. Maybe help you see how your emotions have been spilt out over this situation. Maybe you will come to the consciousness of, you know, how your mind is going around and around with these regrets. And seeing that, you know, you didn't run out of time. It was just the divine timing of things. What else needs to come out for the block? Oh, I like this one. Oh. Was that a hummingbird? Or was that a regular bird? That was interesting. So I like that the hummingbird did that. I have the Hermit here. This represents Virgo energy. This also represents Mercury. Mercury talks about how we think and how we communicate. If you go check out my new moon, full moon interpretation, new moon being in Gemini, full moon being in Sagittarius. Gemini is also represented by Mercury. Again, it speaks upon how we think and how we communicate. Here it is asking you with this Hermit card to take a journey. Take a journey into looking back at things. You know, being able to see the communications that you had, you know, really opening up to the things that you think about when you look back into all this. And then bringing it back into the here and now, being more conscious of how you're thinking about things. It could be even how you're speaking to yourself about things. Again, because you have a lot of this resentment here. But there is a journey that you have to take with yourself when it goes back to looking at things. And processing it. Trusting that everything has worked out for a reason. Sometimes we don't know why things are lost, but it's for a reason. It could be to propel you into a different direction. It could be to propel you into this new ideas about doing things. You know, it could propel you into opening up to the love, light, and compassion of the divine. Strengthening a connection with the divine and understanding that the divine isn't here to punish you through these many losses that happen in life. But this is something that you have to do with yourself. You have to do with yourself, especially when it comes to you going round and round with yourself, battling with your regrets, battling with your resentments. All right. Let's see. Let's go one more card. What is the last card? Last two cards here. It's very fitting here. I've seen this in the cleansing / pre-shuffle. What we have here is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And it looks like I have Eight of Cups in reverse. You're having a hard time giving yourself permission to move forward. You're having a hard time opening up to that it's the ending of things. Maybe it was something that you thought was gonna be around for a whole lot longer. But it isn't. It wasn't. It's had its time. But for you, you can't seem to let go or to even walk away, and understanding that this is a part of the flow here. That's what I get with this block, with these last two cards. For some reason, this is really affecting how you feel about your success with things too. It's definitely something that you're staying stuck on. It's something that is, again, it's a lot of emotions. It's almost like you're feeling like you're drowning in them when it comes to when you have a moment even off to yourself. It's a lot. It is a lot. Like I said, sometimes when we lose things that are really precious to us, we don't understand why time is going on. We don't even understand how time can still go on. I remember those feelings with my brother when I lost him. I remember those feelings with a few others when I lost them. I remember that feeling again when I've lost 2 jobs in one day. How can time still be going on? How is everybody just living their lives while I was there in so much pain, so much agony, so much hurt? It does. It does seem so unfair at times. But if what had happened in the past didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Literally, even in the state that I am in, I wouldn't have been able to express certain truths. I wouldn't be as spiritually evolved as I am now. So with losses, if you choose to pick yourself up, if you choose to get back into your routine, not because you want to forget about it, it's because you want to keep moving, you want to keep going, you want to keep growing, you want to be able to understand the flow of life. And when I say it all like this, because at these moments we don't understand. Literally, we're using our faith, we're using hope that our emotions, that our mind will eventually settle, and that's why we keep going. That's why we start our routines again. So just know that you're human. You're having a human emotional experience, and that's a part of life. Some of the lessons that I've learned from losing people is definitely, it's changed the way I talk to the ones that I love. It changes the way even how I treat them. All I know is that at any moment things can be taken from you, or taken from you, I should say. So when you have those sudden losses, it's like, what can we learn from that? How can we learn from that? Maybe next time around with another person or another place, we try harder. For myself, I always give 110% to work so I can come home saying I showed up, and I showed up to the fullest so I don't have regrets. When I show up for my children, I show up for my children in the fullest that I can. I show up for my friends in the fullest that I can, because I know every day that they're in my life, it's a blessing. And to live with regrets, to live with resentments is a whole lot heavier. It's a whole lot heavier to carry than it is to live with the honor of knowing that this is a blessing to have this person, place, or thing in my life. And because I've changed the way I look at relationships, changed the way I interact with people, that's why I give so much that I do when I'm dedicated to whoever, whatever it is. So don't let this weigh you down into where you just feel all your resentment and regrets of the things that you didn't do, the things that you wish you would have said, and learn from it. Learn from it in your future relationships and how you express yourself to those people, in your future career choices and how you show up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the conclusion. We finally made it. So I have this interesting oracle deck called Something, Sometime, Somewhere, and Every Day. So this is a little bit different than a lot of the oracle decks that I use. So we're going to see how I interpret it, because like I said, it's a little different. But I found it very interesting that the person wearing the rabbit hoodie was going to be the one that was on top. Rabbit, usually you can find in some texts that it's the meaning of awareness. So there could be some kind of new awareness that's going to come about. So, divine and universal energy and angels. What is it that needs to come out for the conclusion? What is it? What is it? What is it? Ooh. Let's see what we have here. So we have some time. No one can tell how tomorrow will be. I think that speaks volumes, especially when we were just speaking about regrets, resentments, things that we wish we would have done, projects that we wish we would have finished with whoever. If you knew what was going to happen, the expiration date by whatever this was, person, place, or thing, you would have did something different. You would have finished more stuff. You would have took those opportunities that you wanted to do instead of holding back and procrastinating. Just know that. You couldn't predict what tomorrow was going to bring. You couldn't predict what the expiration date was going to be. Just know that. That's a part of this experience. We have every day. Look carefully. Loneliness is also beautiful. Look carefully. Silence is beautiful too. This speaks upon that Hermit card. You have this person here to support you. They can only support you so far on this, because this is an inner journey for yourself. This is an inner journey into being able to understand your blessings, understand how to honor things, being able to understand that just because we have an end in one area of our life doesn't mean it's the end for a lot of other areas in our life. And that's something that nobody can teach you but you. And then I have some time. The other day I had a daydream. Today I try to control dreams. It's hard. It is hard. It is hard. It is hard when you're trying to go back and forth in your head and replay all these different moments. You know, and then you want to take control. It could be by being upset with yourself, again, because of the resentment and the regrets. How can we be more observant of our thoughts here? More observant when we're trying to take out this loss on ourselves, this variable of life that was out of our very control. All right, what else needs to come out? Every day, every day, every day. There are lots of secrets hidden in the sky. What I get with that is you still have a Rolodex of really good memories there. Really great moments where you were on cloud 9 with whoever this is. You know, whatever this loss was. And again, you can take your focus from the resentments, the regrets, and the, you know, feeling like you ran out of time. And you can start to look at the time that you did have. The memories that you did have with them. You know, the things that y'all got to do, the things that they taught you, the things that they opened you up to, whatever this was with a person, place, and or thing. Alright, what else needs to come out? There we go. Ooh, hermit, hermit. Let's see, too much planning is a waste of time. Too much expectation hurts. I think this is something that you're gonna discover too in your little hermit mode when you're going back and you're looking upon things. Is we try to plan for things to last forever. But what is forever? Is forever just a lifetime? Is forever just the moment for as long as we want it to last? When we think things should last forever, we create these expectations that it will always be there. In this hermit mode, you're going to discover that it's a part of life for things to come and go. It's a part of even experiencing the intensity of the emotions that we experience here in this dimension. We experience these emotions that are so intense because it's meant to help grow us. It's meant to help us feel how much passion we have for things in our life. It's hard. It's hard when we get to certain points and the expectations aren't met. In my life, when I lost my brother, it hurt because there was an expectation that he was supposed to be here just as long as I was, if not even longer. But that expectation didn't work out. When I lost both those jobs in one day, it hurt. It hurt a lot because the expectation was that I was going to have those two jobs. It was one company, but there was a side job I was doing. Anyways, the expectation was that it was something that I could depend on. But because it didn't happen and that expectation didn't stay where I wanted it to be, that's why it hurt even more, and that's why it was harder to understand. We have to be careful with these expectations of things lasting forever. Life doesn't last forever. What is the last card for the Cancerian community? Looks like it's going to be the last two cards here, Cancerian. So the first one is somewhere. When it rains, we are ready to sing. what I'm hearing is we have ways that we can celebrate. We can celebrate the memory of this. We can still have fun with it. It's crazy because as of yesterday, I actually shared a song on my IG that was off of my brother's album. He didn't make an album, I should say, off of his memorial CD. And I was singing, laughing, having a great time, just thinking about him. So what this expresses here is still doing things, whether it's playing their favorite song or your favorite song when you were going to whatever this place was, whatever it is. But it's still doing things that are tied to its memory, their memory, that were of fun times. Still creating that fun energy of when they were around type of thing. Or when it was around. Person, place, and or thing. Whoo! I think, Cancerian, your story wins. So far throughout all the other stories that I've done, this story has me the most emotional. I'm not gonna lie. This is hitting home for me in a lot of areas and the things that I've worked through. So just know it's possible. It's possible to move forward. It's possible to be able to breathe again. All right. Oh, I actually said last two cards. Two cards, but for some reason I kept going. All right, so one of the other cards that I forgot to look at here with the last pick, it was what I built may not be beautiful, but it will keep you cozy and warm. I mean, the past wasn't perfect. You weren't able to get to certain things, that's okay, because what you built in those memories with them, that was the best. That's what it was about. Just know that. So every day, be patient and always remind yourself that the goal is yet so far. It takes time to heal. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, everything's fine. I honor this journey. No, it's one day at a time. One step at a time. And it's being able to give yourself permission to have those moments of cleansing out, to have those moments to release the emotions that you feel, the anger, the anguish, the loss. Because bottling it up does you no good. It does you no good. It leaves you more stuck. It leaves those emotions of anger, resentment and stuff, sadness. It leaves them to fester in your body, and then it's all covered up by anger and irritability. So if there's no destination, will you come with me? Can you trust in the divine? Can you trust in the divine with when people come and go, situations come and go on your journey with you? Can you trust enough in the divine to get up and continue to walk with the divine? I feel like that's what that's saying. Can you still get up and walk with the ones on this journey who are still around you? This was a lot. This was a lot. This is going to conclude it too. Whew. Be patient with yourself. One day at a time. All right? Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for your time and your energy. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. And don't forget divine and universal energy as well for coming in and, laying out this raw truth for us. Because sometimes it's hard to talk about stuff like this, especially when we feel like no one else understands, no one else is feeling what we're feeling. Just know you're not alone. Your ancestors, angels, spirit guides, divine and universal energy are all here. All right? Try and have a good day. Try and do something for you. All right? And I will see you next time.